to another one. This time it's going to be a presentation, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be about from static to smart, the rise of interactive and responsive OOH media. I'll repeat the topic for the presentation that's set to be discussed right now. This is from static to smart, the rise of interactive and responsive OOH media. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic is all set to explore the shift from traditional OOH to dynamic and the digital formats. With technology like AI, sensors, and mobile integration, OOH now delivers personalized real-time engagement as well. And this evolution enhances consumer interaction, improves targeting and drives more effective campaigns throughout. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for Mr. Ankur Garg, Associate Vice President, RAPO, as he joins me on stage, please. I believe this can get a lot louder over here, Mumbai. Ankurji is over here, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with that reception as well. Thank you, and over to you. Pleasure. Sure. Just check if it's working. Can we get this mic switched on, please?
Hello.
Yeah, over to you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So good morning. And I would like to begin by wishing you all the best on this great day of Mahashivratri. You know, I was jokingly telling the team last evening that given my hectic last 3 weeks, I would love to sleep this day off. But on a serious note, I realized that why not use my experience of last 3 weeks in Mahashivratri and take this topic completely 360 diametrically opposite angle. Because when we think about smart, we think about digital, we think about interactive, we think about urban towns, we think about top towns. What about the rest of the towns? See, just to put numbers behind this, top 10 towns of India contribute more or less 90% of the digital assets. This is the supply side logic. The demand side logic from the client is that top 10 towns of India contribute to 30% of affluent India. Then what about the 70% of affluent India? Where do they stay? When I thought about this, I created next slide. So as you can see, we have divided on the basis of affluence India in 3 parts, India 1, India 2, India 3. And like I started, let's take a diametrically opposite view. So I thought, forget about 70% of India, only focus on below 1 lakh population towns. As you can see in the first chart, UP, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, they are contributing in double digits to the affluent India population base of below 1 lakh population. Since the base is very high, the absolute numbers are also very high. Then we mapped India 2. This is the aspiring India, the India which is about to become affluent. And you will see the same ecosystem happening there. UP, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu contributing more or less in double digits. What does this slide tells me? This tells me India is growing. And India is not growing only in urban centers, but also across tiers, across states. When we understand this, I come to the next slide. And I map what I have said earlier. There's a limited penetration of digital OOH across tiers and touch points. This data is from our intelligence arm in IPG, Magna Global. You can also call it data spine. The previous data that I spoke about was from IRS 2019 Q4, which is the latest one. So if I marry the both, now you will see 83% of media is still traditional. But there's no denial that DOH is growing 2x. That would mean in next 5 years, it will become double of its size that it is currently having. Having said that, traditional OOH is also growing in double digits. That would mean on the current high base of traditional OOH, this is a humongous growth. And why this growth is happening? Because of course, tier 2, tier 3, rural India is contributing into it. Of course, tier 1 and metros are also contributing. So the conversation for us, I believe, is not either or. The conversation is integration of traditional and digital and creating smart campaigns. Of course, By the virtue of 98% of my digital assets are either on the lifestyle or transit touchpoints, this gives me a great leverage to create programmatic digital OH campaigns. Just imagine if I am a college student, on a 32-degree temperature, I go out from my college to the nearest bus stop. That bus stop is a digital OH bus stop, and there's a ice cream ad playing on, a melting ice cream. And the same bus stop is also having a dispenser where I can scan a QR code and have that ice cream. Voila. This is the smart planning we are talking about here. So we can definitely leverage the PDOH screen opportunity for the digital OH assets. Now, if I further move and introduce you to the MAP framework which we apply for our clients. MAP basically stands for Messaging Placement Audience because they are the main pillars. And then, of course, they are enabled by tech integrations, elevated storytelling, and point of sales like e-com and MT. Now, since I have dwelt quite much about the audience, I will quickly come to some specific points on this because I wouldn't able to discuss this at length in this forum, given the paucity of time. But let's also think about duration. Because when we are talking about digital OH, few questions come to my mind, and I am sure must be coming in your mind as well. What is the ideal duration of a digital ad for the large digital OH format? Is it 10 seconds? Is it 20 seconds? Is it more than that? What is the ideal duration for the media that is on the captive touch points? For example, PVR, Inox, residential screens, so on and so forth. For the argument purposes, let's believe that 10-second is ideal format for the large format digital asset when the traffic is moving fast. 20-second is the ideal one when it is on the congestion prone areas or maybe signals, traffic signals. If I construct this my point from this hypothesis, then the next question comes. What should be the 10-second edit and what should be the 20-second edit? Shall 10-second edit be the 2x speed of the 20-second edit? Shall it only be the video ad whether it is made for the TVC purposes or the GIF ad which is made for the social media platform purposes? Or we shall be making specific to this media our ads. Who shall be making this? The creative agency or out-of-home agency? I, for one, and I would love to believe, each one of us would like to believe this, that we are better positioned to do justice to this media. So, A, it should not be the TVC or should not be the GIF. It should be the content created for out-of-home. B, it should be 3D or anamorphic. Then thereby the edit comes. It shall be multiple frames that we will able to dictate. For example, to close this complete conversation, 10-second shall have 2, 4, 5-second frames or shall it have 3-second frames each? 20-second shall have 4-second frames of 5 or 5-second for 4. See, the whole point I am trying to make here is the conversation in out-of-home changing. It is becoming more and more creative, and we take a lot of pride in our organization in IPG, and I'm sure each one of you will be doing it on your own organizations, that we are now creative out-of-home agencies and not only planning agencies. Of course, then there are tech integrations, elevated storytelling, so hence and so forth. Then I move further and juxtapose affinity on this. Now, if you see the left-hand chart, OH touchpoints visit affinity, you see key arterial routes is coming at 4th position. But what do happen in a traditional out-of-home planning way? सबसे पहले हम लोग arterial routes plan में डालते हैं. We forget about corporate hubs, we forget about shopping malls, we forget about gyms. Which audience I am talking about? I am talking about female 15, 0.1 audience, the most affluent audience I am talking about here. Then for the same audience, if I map the OH media affinity, I see digital OH is coming first, followed by retail, large formats, airports, so on and so forth. Now, the question is, Will this affinity change if I change my audience and make it male 15 plus 0.1 audience? Of course it will change. Will it change if I keep female 15 plus static but map India 2 audience here? Of course it will change. All of this that we are doing together as an out of home industry is going unnoticed, as we could have seen in the last session. So the idea is whether we are presenting this data, owning this data, and then juxtaposing creativity, our creativity, with a humongous creative work that I have seen in last 3-4 years from each one of us. But are people noticing is the main point. The only point hence I am making here that smart planning is not only about one format. Smart planning is about integrating traditional with digital and then backing it up with data and creativity, which I will show you in the next slide. So when we do that, something like this happens. If we can play the video. So when we apply map framework, something like this happens when, by the way, all this campaign that you have seen, whether Vaseline or Lakme, were backed by data, were backed by attribution. Shashi in the last session asked questions on attribution and allow me to call him sir because I keep telling him that I'm stuck in outdoor because of him. Where he selected me from my campus placement. So now the point is, this is completely attributed to out of home. By the way, we have mapped sales, mapped market penetration, and all of that here. And client has actually agreed and believe, and all of this data is given by them only. So the point is, this kind of magic happens when we integrate media. Then we juxtapose on this something which is a new fashionable thing, so to say, that is CGI. Why can't we make the CGI? So in this case, we as an out of home agency made the CGI. Can we play the video? So I come back to my point again. It's not now anymore about integration of traditional and digital OH. It's also about something like CGI. Why can't out of home agency be considered as an expert for this? Because we know what have we done in Delhi. We know how we can plug that gap. And of course, when it comes to ROI, comes to attribution, what better could be than this new fad of CGI where you are spending X, but you are getting the reach of 10X. And when you actually consider Tom, Spont, all those unaided awareness functions here, you will realize that it's working beautifully and helping us out in out of home. Can we move further? Now, we have started this smart journey around 10 years back. Not everything I can cover here, but I will just place few of the campaigns in front of you, which I would like to believe further substantiate my point that the conversation cannot be for us either or. It has to be integration. Moving on. The first campaign I would like to talk about, Taj Mahal Make Santu, which I would love to believe have reached out to you in last 1.5 years, to each one of you. But can we just stop the AV for a moment? Now, this has won all awards, starting from Cannes, Festival of Media, Spike Asia, Back Home, MV. But you know the beauty, Guinness Book of World Record has been made. But the beauty is not that. The beauty is the numbers that you were seeing in the last slide, or you will see in the AV as well. The moment of truth, again what Shashi pointed out, the attribution. The Tom moved from 74 to 89. The sales moved from X to 2X. The last 3 months penetration, market penetration reached to a certain level, which you will see all this in the AV. So over to AV now. Building makes Ankur was really challenging. Weighing 320 kilograms, it consisted of numerous mallets and strings. Each mallet came with a pulley and a container. Whenever it rained, the containers would quickly fill up and dredge the mallets. This would spill the water from the container and force the mallets to fall and hit the strings. These strings were digitally embedded with notes of the symphony. The action of these mallets hitting the strings created various versions of this symphony, which then got amplified by concealed speakers. You know, this is a proud moment. Thanks. See, this is a proud moment for each one of us who are working in out of home, because there is a magazine called Neoscience Hub, which is purely a science magazine of a global repute. As you have seen in the AV, they have called it a beacon of cultural and technological convergence. They have nothing to do with out of home, and they are accepting this is an indigenous science. So nothing to do with digital OH, but this is the power of traditional OH. Moving on. Then comes something like drone show, which is done, I would love to believe, done to death. But if it is done correctly, it still makes a lot of sense. I have just come out of Mahakumbh doing another drone show for Lifebuoy. Numbers are yet to come in terms of the effectiveness for the brand, sales and everything. But of course, within 5 days, they have seen 1 crore traffic on the YouTube channel on which they have hosted that. But what I'm showing you is the quality walls Nolan Gore. 2 years back, we had done it. And again, you would able to see attribution and sales, which is mentioned here also and will also be there in the AV. Can we play the AV?
Durga Puja, the biggest annual festival celebrated grandiosely in Kolkata. Highly enthusiastic devotees gather in large numbers and come together to join the procession. Quality Walls decided to thank Kolkata for their love by bringing them a memory to savor for lifetime. Introducing Quality Walls Nolan Gur Drone Show. A unique show of drones and lights with 500 drones celebrated the essence of the festival, along with the reveal of the new launch specially designed and inspired by the perfect Bengali sweet ingredient that is loved by all the locals in the city, Nolan Gur. Taking the festivities to an elevated stage, the show included brilliant formations that brought to life the Bengali culture and the role of new sweet from Quality Walls. we had all major spots boast with our brandings around the city, airport, and residential premises. We got few influencers to announce the pre-event details to the followers. The show was live streamed on social media with 17,000 viewers watching online and later uploaded on YouTube with 4.5 million views. We built relevance for the brand by doing an impactful innovation which garnered 80% reach in 20 days. And that's how it affects the bottom line. 1200 BPS increased sequential month on month. Activated month top of mind was higher as compared to peak summer month top of mind. Business grew by 30%. This is how these visually striking displays by quality walls won a lot of hearts in Kolkata.
So this is the power of integrated campaign that which Deepa was mentioning in the last session. Now moving on to AI. Now first see the AV and then I will just build upon it. Can we play the AV?
नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब। मैं हूं अरशद वारसी। बड़े पर्दे पर मैंने आपको हंसाया है, थोड़ा बहुत रुलाया भी है, लेकिन आज मैं बताने आया हूं आपके पसंदीदा नजदीकी स्टोर पांडुरंग किराना के बारे में। जी हाँ, वही स्टोर जहां से आप अपने घर का जरूरी सामान खरीदते हैं। एक बात बताऊं, आपके पसंदीदा पांडुरंग किराना में 3 रोजेस, बूस्ट, ब्रू, हेलमंस पर चल रहे हैं ढेर सारे ऑफर्स। इन प्रोडक्ट्स पे पाइए 10% तक की छूट। बचत करना समझदारी है और आप तो समझदार कस्टमर हैं, हाँ? तो जल्दी से आइए और बचत का फायदा उठाइए। क्या आप आज बिजी हैं? अरे कोई बात नहीं, आपके लिए पांडुरंग किराना अब होम डिलीवरी भी करता है। नीचे दिए फोन नंबर पे कॉल करिए और अभी ऑर्डर दीजिए। तो टेंशन नहीं लेने का, एकदम कॉन्फिडेंस में फुल टू खरीदारी करने का, समझा क्या?
So this is the AI generated campaign done for HUL Shikhar app. Now imagine that this Pandurang and many stores like that, they are become celebrity within a 500-meter radius, 1 kilometer radius of their shop. And all the digital residential screens are playing the same ad, QR codes are deployed, push messaging have been done, and then this campaign becomes award winning. So this is the power of, again, out of home when built with the right idea. Now I would come to the last case study.
नमस्कार।
So no smart conversation to my mind can be finished without talking about how out of home can become responsible and create social impact. Technology is not only about digital AI, VR handsets. It is also about how can we make this place better for sustainable living if we are given a chance. So this is the campaign that we have done. You can see the social impact. These are the very initial numbers of last 6 months. This is the activity we have started a couple of years back, finished last year. Please play the AV.
Varanasi, one of the oldest living cities in the world, also a symbol of Hindu Renaissance with holy river Mother Ganga at its heart. But with increased influx of people in the city, there is a need for better infrastructure. Hence, Varanasi Smart City Limited Corporation or VSCL has identified that they wanted to make the transport infrastructure better for the city. Thereby, Hindustan Unilever and Varanasi Smart City Limited Corporation joined hands. HUL decided to give the global first project of 100% recyclable bus shelters to the city of temples as per their commitment to sustainable growth. In Varanasi, we created the first ever solar-powered bus shelter. The entire bus shelter is built of stainless steel, a material that supports recycling. We have also used polycarbonate sheets that are recyclable. Bus shelters' carbon footprint will be minimized by the LED lighting. We added various facilities to help the local commuters. We also installed screens to display various information and public awareness messages. We installed CCTV cameras to ensure the safety of the commuters. This whole idea was highly appreciated and supported by the ministry that on 15th November 2022, it was inaugurated by Mr. A.K. Sharma, Minister of Energy and Urban Developments.
5 महीने के काम के बाद आप देख सकते हैं कि इस बस स्टेशन का आकार आपके सामने है। इसमें जो हार्डवेयर भी जो है वो भी रिसाइकल्ड मटेरियल से बना हुआ है।
It was also covered by various media channels. It reached out to people through offline press and online articles. It has become the talk of the town. Many bloggers have covered it in their social media. This 100% sustainable smart bus shelter is loved by the government and the people that now we are building 9 more.
So we have finished building these 9 bus shelters at the beginning of last year. And the power of smart out-of-home planning is that our Honorable Prime Minister has inaugurated this just before the general election. So this is who we are as an industry. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, आप लोग को पता है मेरा डायलॉग क्या होने वाला है और जोर से ताली everybody please over here in this house. Thank you so much for that wonderful session.
Thank you.
I'll request you to please stay back and I'll request Mr. Kaushik Chakrabarti, business head of Elevate Retail and Trade Marketing Interspace Communication, to please kindly join me on stage and give away the memento and the token of appreciation. Please, a huge round of applause for Mr. Kaushik as well as he joins me over here on stage. Thank you so much, sir. Give him a bigger round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Very fascinating session. Loved all the AVs, especially the one of Kolkata. Coming from Kolkata myself, born and brought up there.